Bring that mouse over here, right?
Yeah, I don't really need the mouse though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Going?
Yep.
Okay, you want to start with high and low?
Sure.
Go around and call the word game Smith stab at it. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Gotta jiggle it out. All right. Ready? Hi, I'm Laurel.
I'm Colin.
I'm Wolf.
And I'm Chelsea.
We're the Gamesmiths, and we're here to play Die by the Sword. Ryan's going to teach us the rules.
Cool.
So, Wolf.
Die by the Sword, an interactive roll and write game of tactical conquest. Take on the role of an ambitious new leader trying to establish your own empire in the world of Animalia. Each round you roll dice and use special abilities to see how you will be able to advance into each of the 4 kingdoms. To achieve victory over your opponents, you must leverage the unique benefits bestowed to you by the kingdom's local inhabitants and use their support to gain tactical control over Animalia's most valuable territories. So we have the Forest Realm, the Coastal Republic, the Wetland Rebellion, and the Mountain Clans. Everybody should have. What we gotta do is so everyone should have their starting hand here of 2 cards, and then we're gonna lay out these cards up here. That's the cards we get next. And we're gonna have an active turn order. So what's gonna happen? This game is played in rounds and turns, and so we'll have a round where everybody gets a turn, and then you pass the active player. So I'll start, let's say, as the active player, and on a round, so I'll just go over what's in a round, then what's in a turn. On a round starts by whoever the active player is will roll all 4 dice.
Whoa.
And then put them by their respective kingdoms. Then each of us will take a turn, and I'll explain what the turn is. And then after each of us have taken a turn, you'll be able to... we'll have drawn all these cards. So we'll basically refill the cards, and then we'll pass the dice, and the token will pass the opposite direction of the turn order. So I'll do that, and then Chelsea will get to roll. So what you're each going to do on your turn is... So like I said, I just rolled all the dice, so I get to go first. On my turn, the first thing I can do is play as many of these cards as I'd like. There's no hand limit to how many of these cards you can have, and you can play as many of them as you want on one turn. So this one here says subtract 1 from all dice. And so you're just going to tick all the dice down.
Assume 1 being the minimum.
Yes. And this just says that, subtract 1. And then, whoops. I did that wrong. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's actually wrong.
So
if
you
this
can't go
was
to 0.
You can't go to 0. You'll go back around to 6. So
If you're at 1, you go to 6?
if you're at 1, you go to 6. And if you're at 6 and you're plussed, you go to 1. So the dice do roll over. You can't
That's cool.
Okay.
Interesting.
right. So it's always worth something. You know, if I rolled if those were all 1s and I played this card, it would put everything to 6s. This card would be dead.
That was a 2, right?
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. This is just a practice round.
Now I-
Yeah. And then I have this card, and we have the explanations of the cards. So if you need an explanation of a specific card, we can do that, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And this one would let me re-roll a die, and then I can either keep the result I get, or plus it by 1, or minus it by 1. And so I will plus it by 1, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And I'm actually going to just cheat and change that for illustrating a point later.
Cheater.
So, yeah. So, next thing so after I've played all the cards that I want to, and I can mess with all of the dice when I'm playing my cards, I'm going to pick a die that I want to use, and then basically use it. So I can take this green 3, and whoops, just realized I forgot the marker, but we got one right here. Don't mind me, talk amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
Yes.
All right. So then you take the marker that we have here and draw a line for anywhere on this green 3. So I can connect to any 2 dots that are around this green 3 or this green 3. I get to pick whichever one, just whatever matches my die.
Okay.
Um,
But only one line?
but only one line.
Okay.
That's correct. The goal of the game is to capture as many territories as you can by being the person
And then you
that
put a thingy
completes
here.
it. Exactly. So yes, if you're the person that draws the last
A
line,
tiddlywink.
then you put your little tiddlywink in there, and then you're going to get as many points for the square as there are little shields here. So the middle one's always 5, and then everything else is actually equal to the number of lines you have to draw to capture it. So this
Oh.
one needs 3 lines drawn, so it's worth 3 points. This one only needs 2 lines drawn, because some are drawn in. So you see there are clearly some lines already drawn in the map that,
Yeah.
that will count. So,
Yeah.
but let's say I go like this, and let's just say that line was already there. So for my turn, I'm going to draw this line here, and then I will take this card into my hand because I took the green die and the green area, and then I'm done, and it's Colin's turn.
Is that still your hand?
Yeah.
Even though
No,
you-
no, no. Those 2 I played.
Okay,
So this
yeah.
would go to my hand. These are like the discard
Wait, so
pile.
you draw when you do a thing?
You take the card from the area that you take the die from. So it could
And
be
then
possible
The next one comes out.
and at the end of the round.
Oh,
yes.
so these are on the table. Okay.
Yeah, so those are on the
Okay.
table. So when I took this green die,
Sure,
I also
sure.
got the green
Okay,
card that was
okay.
here.
I got it.
And it goes into my hand.
So
So
you only get to
that
choose
could
one
be-
color on your turn.
yes.
Is there cards that change that?
No. Because everyone just gets one color for their turn, and that's
Okay.
how you get.
Sure.
Otherwise, you'd be cutting
There's no like
Chelsea out of a
cheaty
turn.
cards that
Right,
say
yeah.
like you can play multiple dice.
No, but there are some like draw 2 lines with 1 die. So let's say I played
Okay.
that, I could have done this right here and just drawn 2 lines here.
Okay.
Then I pass to you.
It still goes to me even though the turn order
Turn
passes
order
to
goes
her?
this way, pass token goes that way.
Okay,
Yeah. So
sure.
after the round, the active player rotates the opposite way of the turn order.
Okay.
So does that mean you'll go first next time?
No, Chelsea will go first
Or-
next time. I'll go second. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna pass this. And since she went last
she'll
time,
go
she
first.
goes first. 1,
Okay.
2, 3,
Okay.
4.
So I would go twice in a row.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Effectively, because
Oh.
the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, so she would
Oh.
effectively go twice in a row. Because
Yeah.
they'd roll
Oh.
again. You'd roll
Yeah.
again.
I thought
then
you said
go. Yes.
round. Which is why I was.
Oh,
Square. This is about squares, not
It is
rounds.
about squares.
I'm sorry.
Well, these are
Uh,
round.
I know it's
Tiddly
shapes.
round.
Shapes are very confusing.
Triangles.
Um, so now it's Colin's turn, and he can go and he can play as many of his cards as he wants, and then he could, for instance, take this die here, and since it's a red 6, he could draw this line here and actually complete the green 3. He doesn't necessarily need to.
So I would still get the 3 point.
Right. So you would get
So you
this.
could potentially close off 2 at once. And
Yes. So just
double
just
point.
kind of pay attention to that. This line here can be drawn on either a red 6 or a green 3.
Is this a snail with a sword?
I believe so. Yeah. I don't know, you can look-
I'm just
don't know.
enjoying it.
so
Sorry.
so our chip
so then-
colors don't matter for what
No.
we can do on the
No.
board.
Right?
So then Colin would put his chip there and say, "I conquered that area," and gets 3
Yeah.
points when he played that.
Great.
And
The
then
realm
draw
of the
thing.
forest.
So that's really it. That's the whole
Okay.
game. There are if you have any questions about how a card
And I
works,
assume these pips just mean what?
that's how many.
So that's how many points
Yes,
it's
this
worth
one's
anyway.
2 points. Yes.
So
this
we
is
don't,
worth
we don't
3.
need to add up the actual things because it's already
the
done
lines.
for us.
Yes, you
Okay,
just
that's
count the
nice.
purple shield. So I'm going to get to that in a second here. So that's it for that. If you have any questions about specific cards, we have explanations here. You can just
Great.
look at them throughout the game. Each one has an additional explanation. So finally, there's scoring. So at the end of the game, you're going to get
Sorry.
You're gonna get
man.
points that are worth. You get your points for however many territories you'd capture. So Colin would get 3 points for this right here. Oh, one thing I didn't mention: the game ends when all the territories are captured inside 3 of the colors.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's not fully thing is when 3 of them are done. So then we start counting. So the first thing you're going to get points for is just straightforward the number of shields that you have captured. So Colin would get 3 for having captured this. The next thing that you get is a little more complicated, but basically, for each kingdom, you're going to get ranks for if you control the most in it. So whoever gets the most red will get the most points, will get extra bonus points in
Okay.
red, so on and so forth. So basically, if you're in first place, you get 4 points for each territory you've captured in the area where you're first place. If you're second place, you get 3 points, and if you're third place, you get 1 point. Or I'm sorry, 2 points.
So you could technically.
No, I'm sorry, 4, 3, 2, 1. So exactly what you'd think.
So you could technically still win even if you were in like third place if you had like just an entire.
Yeah, like if you
It's
captured
not that
all
likely.
it's more like if you captured all the little ones and never captured a big one, but captured so many of the little
Oh,
ones,
yeah,
you just
okay, I
had
see.
more quantity. So there's a first rating that's more about quality, just how the quality of the space, and then there's a second rating based on like the quantity of the
So-
space.
So you get 4 points for each one?
Yeah.
For the whole
So-
realm.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
they have,
yeah,
they
yeah.
have
the most in
example
the
right
realm, you
here.
have
Yeah, yeah.
4, and then
Yeah.
I get that. I just
Yeah, so
wanted
they have an
to
example right
clarify
here.
the
Player
point
1 has
for
4
myself.
tokens. Player 2 and 3 each have 2, and player 4 has 1. So player 1 is ranked first and gets 16 points, 4 times 4. Player 2 and 3 are tied, and so they would get 6 points for 3 times 2, and then player 4 would get 1 point for controlling 1. So
Yep.
yeah, that's the example here. So that's basically, and that's it. So we're just going to add up the points at the end. Add your there's a score sheet here. So you're going to add your just straight up points, your shield points here, and then your kingdom rank points here. Add them all together. Whoever has the highest total score wins.
Nice.
Okay.
So
Seems simple.
Great.
good. Any questions?
No, it seems good and simple. So.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, that's that. We'll see you in the game.